Alright, it's time to ask the forbidden question. The question. I forgot I had all this on my fucking screen. That's embarrassing. Well, fuck it. We're leaving. Fuck it. We're gonna ask the forbidden question, right? Because Ghost of Tsushima, when it was first presented, you had a lot of journalists coming out the fucking woodwork, being like, "Oh, it's cultural appropriation." Ah, and it's like you can see them, you can just feel them clutching their pearls because they believe cultural appropriation is like the greatest sin. It's like, oh, because your parents didn't fuck right, because your dad didn't fuck a Japanese woman, you're incapable of making a story that takes place in Japan or talks about Japanese people. Like, it's literally, they hired the Nazis from World War II and they're like, okay, do you have the correct pedigree, right? Do you have the correct genetics to write about this story? And it turns out they didn't. But what I found particularly odd was in their presentation was there was this guy who played, I think it was this ancient traditional Japanese instrument. And I think he was the only one alive who not only can play it well, but has mastered playing the instrument. Like, he seeked a Japanese tutor to actually play this instrument. The only other person who could alive that could play this instrument, but then he passed away. So they hired this man. They're like, yeah, we would really like you to play this instrument in our showcase for this game. And he did. And then this is a white dude, some pasty ass white dude who played this instrument. And he played it good. Like, he played it amazingly. But of course, you have the Nazis from World War II, geneticists who were like, oh, I'm sorry. You had the woke media, the journalists. I hate using the word woke because it's one of those words that you say and people shut their brains off. But there's really no other way to describe them. It's like, okay, so you have this guy who is the only one alive who have mastered this instrument, playing it in a showcase for a game that people universally ended up liking, but it's just he's not it's not allowed. Like, he's not allowed to play this instrument. He's not allowed to be here. He's not allowed to show his face because his parents didn't fuck right. Like, that sounds pretty fucking woke to me. You know, again, it's not. It's more of a prescriptive than descriptive. Like, it's an over encompassing word to describe a phenomenon, this current phenomenon that, again, this mindset that your mother and your father never even conceive. Like, watching this presentation, they probably didn't even care, but because you have this ideology, you need to care, and the people around you do care, so you're forced to care too. Because you don't want them to turn on you. And again, what you get from this ideology are just liars. People that just say the thing they're supposed to say, just so they don't piss off the people around them that are probably mentally unwell, and then those people don't start spurting out, trying to get you fired, trying to call your workplace, get you canceled, try to dig up your past, and be like, oh, hey, yeah, you said the N word when you're some edgy fucking teen, and now you need to be fired. Like, these are things that have happened. Like, and this isn't a society that I want. Like, this isn't something I don't want this society of just liars, people who just have to lie to defend themselves. I'd rather people just say what the fuck they want to say. But again, you have this subsect of people that are 100% allowed to say and be as idiotic and be cheeky little shits and shit on this guy and shit on this game because they can, I suppose, because they have the moral obligation to do so. But these same people, they don't shit on Ubisoft, right, or a Ubisoft product. And I think we know why, right? because they might get blacklisted. Again, these companies, at least their middle management, roll around the same type of circles, right? So you hire the HR lady, she hires her friends, she hires the other people from her same university, and they extract the wealth from the company and they profligate their ideology. And this happens in most entertainment companies, and the journalists defend them. It's why, say, Kotaku never shits on a Ubisoft or a big AAA games product. You know, it's why movie journalists don't shit on Disney. It's why fucking CNN don't shit on the fucking acting Democratic president, right? Because they don't want to get blacklisted. They don't want, you know, to get on the bad side of these major institutes. So again, they are willing to withhold information, withhold valuable consumer, valuable political, valuable economic information just to protect themselves, right? They will chase this grift till their dying breath. And if you point it out, right, they come after you because they view this as their life. It's literally their livelihood to keep this grift. If they don't have the grift, they have nothing. And they treat it like such. Like, you call these people out, they do everything in their power to shut you down. Right? They go schizophrenic, like the schizophrenia takes hold, and they hunt you down. Right? And again, what spawns for this are just people who lie to protect themselves. People who, you know, surround themselves with people that think the same way as they do. And anyone that thinks differently, oh, they're a very bad person, and we can't be with them. And again, this is a very regressionist ideology. Like, they want people to regress back to the fucking feudal age, where only had people that chat around the same circles, stay around people that look like them and that speak like them. At the end of the day, you know, things that you think we would be above or think that we would have, you know, evolved out of as a society, like, people just move back to these things. And I think this does a greater harm than someone saying the N word, than one goofy ass nigga saying the N word. Like, saying a slur isn't as bad as, again, people being forced to slum with people that looks like them and that thinks like them for their own protection and for their own safety. And here I go going off in another tangent, right? But this is exactly the culture that's being, one, promoted by, like, media companies and by entertainment companies that hire these people, and two, it's being enforced. Like, they are scared to death of people getting together and talking about things, at least on the internet. So it's why you have terms of service. You know, it's why you have the Jannies on Discord. You know, it's why companies hire moderators to make sure you're not saying a slur, saying a bad word. And I just don't think this is healthy. As a society, this just isn't healthy at all. It will do irreparable damage and take us back. But again, nobody wants this done in America worse than Americans themselves. It's just odd. It's like you benefit from the system, but you want to tear down the system as if it doesn't benefit you. It is odd how these people think. And again, it's the idea of viewing places as zones where financial and economic interactions happen, rather than a country with its culture and its people. Like, you're not allowed to view it that way because that's bad. And again, they're invading entertainment, right? They're invading schools. Hell, they're even invading your backyard, right? Again, in 2020, you were given hundreds of reasons why you should buy a gun, but they also want to take that away. They want to take that away, which is like, okay. But they also want to take the police away. And it's like, I guess unless you're a millionaire, like only your private security is allowed to have guns to protect the million and the billionaires, but normal everyday people are treated like they're mentally ill, right? It's like, okay, this is a very odd ideology you're spouting here. And again, people think this is just the way things should be, but I'm going off on another tangent. Then fuck it, I'm gonna do it again. God damn it. But again, back on this, it's like this is just one tiny, minuscule thing of an even bigger problem. And again, that problem is people are forced to lie. People are forced to chase grifts, other than say what the fuck they actually think or want to say. And again, it's this idea that is enforced. And again, people in real life don't really act like that. It's just you have to act like that around these certain individuals that will spur the fuck out. Like they're playing the spot the racist game. And you're like, okay, I'll say what I need to say to shut these people the fuck up. But when it comes to the voting booths, it's like they stamped Trump 77,000 times. Just to really hammer it home, like what changes